Welcome back to the Movieverse, your best source for movie and TV show content. I am your co-host, Ben, Benji Babe, Benji Boothang, BMT. And I'm Kendrick Lamar,
a.k.a. Kendrick.
Yes.
Ken.
Yes, sir. We are the Movieverse. We are Ben and Ken. If you haven't already, please hit that follow button. Or if you need to, check out our other content first. But I think our content's great. So check out our content. Come back, subscribe, follow. We are on all platforms. Bigger on TikTok. We're also on Instagram. We're here on YouTube, obviously. So make sure to do that. We're also on Apple, Spotify, all podcast platforms. So if that's your preference,
if you don't want to see us, just listen.
Yeah, it's cool.
We're on audio, okay?
Yeah. I mean, there's people out there that don't like to see me. So
yeah, some people just don't like watching videos. They just want to hear, you know?
It's true. Some people are just busy, you know?
Yeah.
They don't like to just do videos.
But you're not
video content.
I mean, you're missing our cool setup, but that's about it.
Yeah, that's about it. Today we are doing a full movie review on Peaky Blinders, The Immortal Man, which obviously you know about if you clicked on this video, I would hope. But we, as always, will give you our thoughts on the movie. We'll tell you what we liked, what we didn't like, and what we were mixed on with the movie. And we will ask a big question we ask every week, which is,
does it belong in the movie multiverse or in a forgotten timeline?
Do we want to forget about it? Yeah. Do we want to forget about it? Or do we want to keep it around? It's a big question we ask every week. We want you to tell us your answer to that question as well. Go ahead and plug that in the comments right now. Tell us whether you think it is something you want to watch again or keep around, or if it's something you want to put in a forgotten timeline, never to talk about again or see again. And then, we'll give you our scores, our ranking on the year for films that we've seen this year and where it ranks in those films. And that's about it.
Tell these folks what this movie is.
Peaky Blinders. Obviously, this is a direct follow-up to the TV show. One of the greatest shows.
Wide renowned show.
Yes, one of the greatest shows of all time. If you haven't seen it, probably shouldn't watch the movie. We'll talk about that and my opinion on that.
Yes, we will.
But I think if you are interested in this video, it's probably because you've seen the show of some kind. So that's why you're probably interested in this. But yeah, I think it's a direct follow-up to the show about Thomas Shelby in his later years of his life, following up season 6.
5 to 6 years later.
Exactly. So, and it's kind of in the brink of World War II. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into it. Peaky Blinders, The Immortal Man, Kendrick, what did you like about the movie? We'll start there.
Yeah, so obviously watch the Peaky Blinders show. You just have to, honestly, to enjoy the movie to the max. There's no way. It's like watching El Camino without seeing Breaking Bad. You would just be like, cool. All right.
Like it's a fun, Peaky Blinders, The Immortal Man's a fun movie.
Yeah, like
in a lot of ways, but I don't think it'll have any sort of impact. You could be
into movie aspects like directing and action and stuff, right? But as far as impact of character's story, you'll be lost. So yeah, of course, don't watch it if you haven't seen the show.
Yes.
So for someone who has seen the show, I would say what I liked a lot is this is a great movie for the fans of the show.
Yeah.
I think that it doesn't feel like it's completely unrelated. It feels like you're watching, honestly, a continuation of the show, which is great. You want to be right back in the universe. You want to be right back immersed. You want to pick up where things left off. You want the vibe to feel the same. And all of that completely does. It feels just like season 6 of the show. And they keep with like the music, like with what the show to be with music, aesthetic, vibe, characters the way they are. Everything feels exactly like we didn't miss a beat. It's like we're basically back to right when season 6 was happening. This could have been the next episode, honestly. So that's great, and I get big props because I think with a movie like this, you could easily do that if you didn't bring the right director, writers back, or bring the right characters or actors back. I think you would lose that. And this movie exactly knew what it needed to bring back. And I think it brought back exactly what was needed to do this story. And I don't think it's trying to go for too much, which is another thing I really like. It knows it's 2 hours long. It knows that it's basically meant to wrap up the Shelby family for our future spinoffs.
I mean, I would say like not even just really the Shelby family. To me, it's more like Thomas Shelby.
Yeah. And which is one of like the remaining Shelbys left, right?
That's
like
true.
We've already lost tons of them and everything, and it's down the line, right? But
is Duke not a Shelby technically? I mean, he is, right?
It was Tommy's.
So that's why to me it's like,
so yeah,
it's not directly necessarily ending the Shelby line, but it's
what we knew from the show. Really.
From the show, so yeah, that's a good way.
I think it's a good way to we're wrapping that whole side of the story up, and it knew that, and so I think it's like we're going for this We're going to make sure we put the right things at the right time, not spend too much time on certain things, but spend the right amount of time on certain things. This movie knew like what it needed to accomplish.
Yeah.
And obviously it leaves me wanting more, which is a great thing. Cause it's like, oh dude, I could go for a whole season of what this movie's trying to be like.
Yep.
But it's doing it in 2 hours. So I have to keep that in mind and go, well, what can we do in 2 hours that's not, that's using the time right? Cause you honestly could use the time so wrong and they used it right. So there's that. But then even from a movie making aspect, it's still great because the show obviously is filmed as great as a movie. Like it's like you got great music, like I said, you got great costumes, great
I think
directing.
That's the difference with this and other like TV shows turned to movies is not all shows are filmed cinematically and produced cinematically like a movie.
Exactly. And
which I think is what makes Peaky a little different.
Exactly. Like Peaky, so you could turn all those seasons into a movie. Straight up. And it would work. Cause I mean, we have great actors, we have great characters, great writing.
Like you said, it's shot so insanely well too. It's got amazing music. It is very cinematic, even though it's a TV show.
Yes.
And that's what's always set things like that. Some of the greatest shows of all time. It's what sets them apart in my opinion is they still feel like they could be on the big screen in the movie theater. And you would go watch them in a movie theater if they gave you the opportunity to. Yeah. But they're a TV show. That's what I think makes it so great.
Yep. So this definitely has that, and that's great. So like obviously you're continuing those great things about the show and the time period it's set in, all those sort of things. So if you're a fan of all that, then this is totally for you. And obviously we're fans of that, so this is for us. And I think this is just meant for the fans, and I love that. It's just like, of course, anyone who loves the show is always going to be down to see a continuation of something we've been missing for years now, right? Because we've obviously missed the show, and it was a great announcement to hear. Oh yeah, we're going to do a movie to wrap this up. Didn't even have to do a movie technically because the show finished, right? But it's a cool way to honestly add things there. So yeah, I think overall it's like a really well-made movie. Obviously, the show carries a lot of that on its back, of course, but at least they continued and stayed true to it. That's the only job it needed to do, really. And it needed to wrap things up, and I think it wrapped things up in a great way. So to me, it's a great conclusion, I would say. Yeah. So that's what I liked. What did you like?
Yeah, I think I ditto basically everything you said. I think the only things I'd add to it is I do feel like, if I was watching this movie as just a regular old movie, I'd probably give it like a 3.5 out of 5, to be honest. I think that it's on its own, it obviously doesn't work, but I don't think I think that's the whole point. This is a movie following up a TV show. And the reason that I think they do a movie here, even though I would have loved a final season, is that they wanted to tie up Thomas Shelby's character and do his character finale justice without doing 6 more episodes. And that sounds bad. Like, I don't mean that they shouldn't have done 6 more episodes, but taking into account the fact that this is a finale movie to a show, it's not going to be done like other movies. And I think that's what people need to have in mind. It very much is still the show. It's just they'll put into a movie form. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Exactly.
And it does it very, very, very well. I was locked in the whole time, but again, that's coming from somebody who is a diehard fan of the show, has seen the whole show. And I think that matters, right? That's why I don't think this is necessarily a movie that'll leave any sort of impact for people that go see it and aren't connected to the show.
Not made for that.
It's not made for that. Yeah. But that's also what I respect about it. Is they didn't try to make a movie that's fan servicey. They made a movie that is just specifically for the fans of the show. And it's not just to make people, the broad audience of people that could go see the movie, happy. It's specifically meant for its audience, its target audience, and that's it. Which I like that. Yeah. That means that they don't, sugarcoat or do certain things in different ways just to appease other people outside of the target audience. They really did this movie to fit the target audience.
Yeah, it's the only reason to make the movie is for the fans.
But we've seen movies done to, fit a broader audience rather than its target audience many times. And that's a big fault that I think a lot of studios fall into.
Yeah, of course.
They want to appeal to more people with it.
The broadest
and
audience.
I think Killian was very big on that in the first place, that like if he was going to sign on to do another movie, it needed to really be cohesive with the show. So,
yeah, like a good story to stay true to the show. Yeah.
Anyways, does all that really well. Standouts are Cillian Murphy. I think he doesn't miss a beat. He really doesn't.
You have to have him in this. Genuinely.
And he doesn't miss a beat. The only thing, I'll get into that in mixed. I think that once you get Thomas Shelby back, like he's fully back within the snap of a finger.
Yeah, it wasn't hard for him at all. It's so natural.
There's so much aura there. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't, that's
why he's one of the best characters of all time.
One of the most iconic characters ever.
The aura is a huge part of that.
Yeah.
And Killian delivers it in a way that no one else could, to be honest.
One thing the show always did really well that I think the movie also does well is the music. The show always had amazing music and soundtrack choices.
Like grungy,
yes,
kind of hard music, but then really like soft, like ethereal music. It's weird.
And this does a very, 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 very good job with the music as well. Like the final song, I can't stop listening to. I think it's amazing.
Same here.
So it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. I just think that this movie hit in every category it was meant to hit and supposed to hit, especially for diehard fans of the show. Like I don't see any reason to complain or be mad about it. That's where we're getting to mix, and this is my thoughts. And you can flame me all you want. I genuinely think the only people that are hating on this are people that seem extremely disconnected from season 5 and season 6 of the show. Everybody's complaints that I'm seeing online come from the premise of Tommy, Shelby, and other characters seasons 1 through 4 or seasons 1 through 3 to me. Like, all of the complaints I'm seeing, I'm like, yeah, I mean, if this was being done after season 3 or season 4, the characters would act like that. You're correct. But I think people are forgetting, like, season 5 and especially season 6 is like the downfall. It's the ultimate downfall. I mean, it's like, it's so dark. I remember watching season 6 and feeling like this is hard to watch. Like, it's really dark. It's really heavy. And it's very hard to watch. Yeah. And like, the start of this movie wouldn't do it justice if it didn't keep up with that tone, that vibe, especially to Tommy's character, but even to Arthur, right? And where their relationship was at.
Yeah.
If it didn't keep up with all of that, and instead, I feel like it would have been more fan servicey to say, no, we're going to go with like the more epic side of it and get back to, we're going to start off like this is back in the nostalgic days of season 2, season 3, Thomas Shelby. I feel like that they could have done that very easily to appeal to people a little bit more because that was the more fun side of the show. But this starts out the movie and takes about 45 minutes to get to like the epicness. Like, a lot of the first chunk of the movie is literally realistically written to come right
after season 6.
Exactly. Yeah. Tommy's still at his lowest point. He's alive, but he wants to be dead. Like, that's very hard to write. And they did a really good job at carrying it into an epic finale, because you do get an epic half of the movie that is really, really dope. But like, I feel like it would have been just injustice to not do Arthur the way they did in this movie, and to not include some of this slow, hard stuff with Tommy at the beginning of the movie, even though that's what people are complaining about and they wanted it different. I'm like, that doesn't fit the season 6 ending.
It's true.
So that's what I can see people being mixed on. I just think that they're mixed on it for the wrong reasons, though, and they're expecting something that wouldn't be correct or realistic to the show and where it left off.
Exactly. Yeah, you do have to remember that. That's true. If you go into it trying to have seasons 1 through 4, you're not going to get that.
Yeah.
You get certain things about it, right?
Yeah,
like, it's not completely a deviation.
Like I said, the second half of the movie gets into our more epic side of Thomas Shelby for one last time kind of thing.
Yeah.
But they do need to realistically take a second to get us there,
yes,
right?
Like they do have to. Yeah. So they pick up, they pick up right where you would think it would go with how the story was going.
Yes.
So it's like, yeah,
but imagine I feel like a lot of people forgot about season 6 and how
we have to start with the broken and the depressing things that are slower, I guess, but also have to be there.
Yeah.
Or else it wouldn't be as captivating a story. I mean, especially for the Thomas Shelby character, right? Like, you see his complete downfall and depression. And we have to pick up with where would he be after going through that for so many years now, and he'd be in this low spot.
Yes,
and you have to show that
people. So this is what I want to ask you, and what we should talk about a little bit on, and we'll do some clips on this. But like, one of the biggest complaints is Arthur, as you can imagine. And I knew watching it, I knew right away watching it that spoilers ahead on this chunk. I don't know about you, but right when it was said in the movie what happens to Arthur, I was like, that's going to be so controversial. I just knew. I was like, that's going to be controversial. But to me, it made sense. And I like, so many comments on the TikTok I posted were like, you're missing the point. Like, Arthur and Tommy loved each other. Tommy loved Arthur. Like, that wouldn't happen. And I'm like, in seasons 1 through 4, yeah, you're right. That wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
But there's a certain side to this that is very dark and sad. Yes. But like, true, which is just like how Tommy wanted to be put down and put out of his misery. You can realistically see Tommy doing that for Arthur.
Yeah.
Another side of it, yes, Tommy loves Arthur more than anything, but Arthur also put Tommy through a ton of hell.
Yeah.
Towards the end of that show, like Arthur was not a reliable person.
Yeah.
Most of the time. Arthur didn't have control over himself anymore. Like there's a lot of aspects I feel like, again, people are forgetting from the end of the show.
Yeah.
Yes, Arthur is still a bad A. Yes, everybody loves Arthur. I love Arthur. But when you take it realistically, I don't see any reason why that decision doesn't still feel realistic. Is it what I want to happen? No, of course not. But at the same time, like, it feels realistic to me. Makes total sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So it may be a hot take, but that's...
Yeah, maybe. I think for me, it's like I never even honestly thought or expected him to be in it. So I guess maybe that plays a role. So like,
real life issues.
Honestly, when they bring him up in the movie, I go, oh yeah. I was like, I forgot about Arthur.
Yeah.
And that's probably everybody's waiting, I guess, for Arthur, right? But for me, I was like, maybe with those expectations, it didn't make me angry, or like it makes people, because I didn't even honestly expect him to be in the movie. Yeah. Because it's like to me it always felt like a movie that was going to have a very small cast, and like it seemed like it was just going to be Killian Barry, right? Like Rebecca Ferguson, like that's all we were hearing about. Yeah. And at the premiere, like all these things.
I think I can see why you're thinking that, because the real life issues. But I mean, realistically, like Arthur's the second biggest character.
So then I started thinking that in the show when they bring it up. I'm like, oh yeah. I was like, I kind of forgot how big Arthur's role was.
They would have to find a way to conclude him for sure.
Then when I was thinking in the movie, I was like, I would think he killed himself. Like 100%. I thought he would somehow end up dead. And I thought that throughout the show all the time. I was like, he's going to die from an overdose. He's going to die from killing himself on purpose. Like something like that.
And it sounds like it was headed that direction anyways. He had lost full control. What they're implying in the movie is that even more so than in the show, he had lost complete control of his life. Like Arthur was done. And I felt like he was already done, but the show makes it sound even worse, or the movie, like and that's realistic for all the problems Arthur had. Like we all knew that day was coming.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it just had, like, that's.
So when I see his grave, I go, oh yeah. Makes sense.
So anyways, I know people are mixed on that. That's our thoughts on that. Yeah. Anything else you can see people being mixed on? Separate from, we also talked about like people that haven't seen it before, or haven't seen the show before, would be mixed on this, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think the only other thing, and I mean, it's kind of, I think, a mix / dislike or whatever, but I think it's always going to be a thing when a show makes a movie and I think everyone will always have this feeling, or at least thought of having this feeling. Yeah. Is you go like, is it needed? And can it do enough that a show can't do? Because obviously in a show you can do so much, right? You get episodes and episodes and episodes of content. And I think anytime a show goes for making a movie like this, like I remember with El Camino, I remember it with The Sopranos show, all these sort of things, people go, do we need it? And can it do enough in 2 hours? And I think that'll be a thought a lot of people have.
And you know what? That's the only one that I will say. It's why it's not a perfect film for me.
Same here.
Is because there is an aspect to it that I will say, like, this would be dope to see a full season of. Like, I think it's the perfect story and ending to Thomas Shelby.
Yes.
It would have been dope to get 6 hours worth of content.
Exactly.
I'm not going to lie.
I'm not going to lie either.
Because one of the things that makes the show so amazing is the fact that every villain of the show is built up so perfectly and written so well. The contention and everything that's going on in the season is so built up that by the time you get to the climax of the season, it's just like this perfect peak. And like the villains in every season feel like they should be big IP villains of like a comic book genre. That's one of the biggest brags this show has, is that like people like Luca and the Commissioner, Tom Hardy, they're such goated written characters that like you watch them and you're like, oh yeah, that would be somebody that you could write comics about. Like they're that good.
Yeah.
And so that's a tall task, and you can't do that in a movie. That's the biggest thing. Exactly. You can't do that in one movie.
That's true.
And so like there are aspects that I'm like, yeah, this isn't quite perfect for me, even though I loved it. But yeah, of course, there's a little part of me that's like, yeah, I mean, this could have been even better in a show for sure. But if the movie is all they could get people to commit to do, and that's all Netflix is willing to greenlight, I think this is the next best thing, and they did it perfectly.
And it would be hard because you would have to then come up with a lot more content to fill that. Yeah. And I don't think there's enough story to really do that for this character in a specific point in time. So that's probably why they didn't do it. Right. And so that's why I'm like, a movie is nice to honestly keep it short and wrap things up with a bow, basically.
And that's what I would say they did well, is they didn't try to do too much. They focused on the things they needed to succeed with.
A season would have probably been a little too much to try and do that. But yeah, I mean, obviously you compare the other seasons, you go, wow, like every episode itself builds up all these different storylines and story beats, character beats, all these things that obviously is why we love the show. So I agree. That's kind of my only thing with the movie is like, you know, I it's like that mix of I wanted more, which is both a great feeling, but also I wanted more. Right. So,
that's why it can't be like,
it's a hard thing, but
we are both high scores, but like, it's not the highest score. Like every season's like a 5 out of 5.
Cause it's really its own kind of thing. Cause you're comparing, it's based on a show, right? So it's not like we're rating it like it's just a regular movie that's not based on anything. Right. So
exactly. Yeah. No, I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
And I think that covers my dislike too. There's not really a full dislike here for me personally, but there's that little mixed feeling of like, obviously in a season, I do think that this could have been done or just filled with even more stuff. Like you probably could have included more for Arthur. You could have done,
you could have done more with his son and him,
his son, the relationship, and him building a relationship better.
Yeah,
because in the seasons with kids, you know, they do that really well. Yeah. The writing's just so goated. But again, my biggest compliment to this is that, okay, you chose to do a movie.
Yeah.
I'm going to set aside the fact, I know it won't be perfect because I'm going to want a TV show.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to set aside the fact, we're already past that. We're not doing a TV season on this. Okay. So you're doing a movie. What can you do? And like you said, is it worth it? Yes. They found a story that was worth telling. Totally.
Yeah.
Tommy's ending, it's a perfect ending. Even the people that didn't like most of the movie, all of them were saying the ending was amazing. So the ending's great. You've got the right story to tell here. To me, it's like, okay, what helps you succeed with this movie? It's focusing on the things that need to be focusing on and not worrying too much about everything else. And yes, it's going to bug some people that certain things don't get a whole ton of detail like the show does.
Yeah.
But again, it's a movie. We're doing a movie. We can't get a season out of it. I think they did the best they could with this story in a movie.
Like when I saw the runtime, I'm like, it's 2 hours. Like clearly with the smaller cast, I was like, this means that we're not going for crazy.
Yes, which I think was the right decision.
We're not going for anything like that.
But again, I think that's the right decision.
And that is the right decision.
Yes.
So they did do the best with that they could.
Yes, and I respect that they didn't go the blockbuster route and the fan servicing route. And I do appeal to a broader audience.
That's the only reason to make it, right? It's just it's so we can give the fans like, oh yeah, here's the story.
Fans. Yeah.
So for what it is, it's great.
Yeah, I would agree. So there's our thoughts on Peaky Blinders, The Immortal Man. We'll give you our scores now and our ranking on the year for the movie if you want to pull up our letterboxes. Yeah. We both gave it a 9 out of 10. Surprise. So 4.5.
4.5 out of 5 for both of us.
Again, not perfect.
No.
And I don't think it could be a perfect movie following up that season just because it's not another season of television. I think it doesn't. You're comparing it to the show validly there, but I do think it did everything as best as it could. Rankings on the year, I actually probably didn't even need you to pull it up because you can say where it is.
It's number one.
Number one for both of us, actually.
It is number one for both of us.
So, love it. Number one on 2026. For me, that's out of 12 movies. Yeah. So 1 out of 12. It's above, Send Help, People We Meet on Vacation, Wuthering Heights.
It's out of 12 for me as well.
Okay.
So 1 out of 12.
Seen as many as I have. There you go.
Wow. Yeah. So great. And I mean, obviously we both are huge fans of the show, so that helps.
Yes.
I'm sure the most general person who had never seen the show would not agree with us. Yeah, but for totally us and what we've seen, how we like the show, that makes sense.
Exactly. And so big question we ask every week, does this movie fit into our movie multiverse or do we want to put it in a forgotten timeline?
No, easily
fits in. Easily. Yeah. It's one I want to watch again right away.
Yeah.
It's one that, I think it's the perfect capstone to the show in a lot of ways. So,
yep.
There you go. Maybe some hot takes in there. Let us know what you think in the comments. As always, love what you love. Love the people you love. And make sure you subscribe to our channel.
Yeah. You guys have a great week.
So have a great week. See ya.